Hi everyone, welcome back to ECRC. I'm Eric, and today we're going to be building a Tamiya Madcap. Yes, a Tamiya Madcap. And hopefully you guys have seen my little preview video, or if you want to call it unboxing, which I did open, unbox, and took out the Madcap. But I'm excited to say that today is the day we're going to start this. This is going to be over a course of many days, so don't think this is one day or just watching one video. But I was able to source a few things. I did clean all the parts up very well. I was able to get the wheels and tires in very good condition. The wheels themselves, the tires themselves, sorry, they do have most of their spikes left. So this was not really driven hard. There are some, some road rash marks on it, but from 1989 it was used a little bit. I'm not gonna complain. I'm not looking for a shelf queen. I'm looking for a Madcap that I can run and use. And no, honestly, I probably won't use these tires though. So I have all my hardware. As you guys can see, I have all my hardware. Everything's super clean. Chassis looks really good. The friction shocks have all the parts, and that's all ready to go. I was able to get, check this out, the Madcap aluminum gearbox plate. So basically the aluminum motor mount, if you want to call it that. This gear had no bushings in it. So it was basically just riding on this shaft inside the gearbox, just kind of bouncing around. So what that means is that it was moving to one side when you're going forward, and then shifting over to the other side when it was going reverse, and it would go back and forth and do that. But as you can see, the wear on the tires is not bad. They didn't drive it much. This gearbox was noisy, but there's no damage to this. All the gears are in very good condition here. There's nothing cracked, broken, worn down. There were no plastic pieces. The other thing is there was hardly any grease in this at all. There was some grease in the diff, but not a lot. But so yeah, we're gonna fix all that. We also got our bearings, of course. We're gonna use this. This is critical. I would like to put some, some oil dampers. That would be great, but I'm not sure. I also did pick out this motor for it, but I'm not sure if we're gonna use it. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but this is like a gunmetal gray. These are fantastic motors, 23 turn, just good enough depending on how you gear the car. These are very good, very torquey. You can adjust the timing. Also have the stock motor, which I cleaned up. Maybe I'll go all original, I don't know yet. Anyway, let's start building. Now, as you can see, I printed out the instructions from online. So let's get all the parts we need here. And as you can see on the instructions, it says right here, BH7 is not used for standard setting. So I don't know what that means, not used for standard settings. This is what I have, BH6. We don't have that. That did not come with the car. And just a little tip for those of you that work on ball diffs, I have this is a little neodymium magnet, and I have all the balls attached to it, because if I put them in a little Ziploc bag, if I gotta pour them out, sometimes they kind of go missing. All right, so let's get this built. We'll start with this half. Alright, so every single hole's got grease in it. So now, I just lift up each one, kind of using the grease as like an adhesive, and putting one on at a time until they're all in the correct holes. There we go. So now they're all in there. Not sure if you guys can see that. And what I will do is I'm going to put the balls in the other one and lubricate it just like this one, because there's one on the other side, and I will be back in a minute. Okay, I have the second one done, and we are going to continue building this. Now I did put this other plate on, so same thing on this side. Now for the big boy. This one gets lots of ball grease here in every hole. So now let's get these balls off the magnet here. Make sure we don't lose any. We got, should be 9. Yep, we got all 9 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, this gets put away. Same method with the balls. Let's go to the other side. As you can see, all the diff grease kind of pushing through, the ball diff grease. So you just want to move it all around. Make sure there's lots in there, but not too much. Now we're ready to put this guy together. Wow, that actually feels so much better than it did when I first took it out. And we're not even clamped up yet, so okay. Let's get this guy screwed in and we'll see how it feels. Now apparently these screws, if you clamp down too tight on one side, just like if you're doing like a brake job on your car, I'm not sure how handy some of you guys are as far as cars, but if you're doing a brake job on your car and using an air gun, and you tighten down too much on one side when you're putting the wheel back on, you could warp the rotor. So apparently that is what happens with this ball diff. If you clamp down too tight on one of these sides, it actually distorts this. So it's like even buying them online is kind of like used ones on eBay is kind of questionable. Okay, so the instructions actually say fully screw in. Fully screw in. So it must be where you can only screw them in so much. And maybe if you force it, maybe it gets a little bit too tight. So I'm just going to put even pressure on all 3 screws. And let's see. Yeah, it actually feels smooth. It really does. Alright, I think we're good. So now, what every good Tamiya owner should do is, of course, use bearings, right? So we're going to use bearings on this guy instead. And now, our ball diff is all good and ready to go. Imagine building a ball diff as a kid. Man, I'd screw that up so bad. But, okay, we're going to move on to the next step. So the next step is going to be building the gearbox, and looks like when we're done with this, I can put this away now. Looks like when we're done with the gearbox here, that we're going to have the whole motor assembly, all the gears, everything's going to be all set and ready to go for the chassis. Okay, so you guys see the first step here, right? Is to get the motor plate on. So after, let's see, how many years? This is finally going to get opened. This could have been produced in 1989, 1990. Actually, I took this one out already, but this is rusted. So I'm going to undo the staple. I'll keep the packaging with the car. Let's open this vintage part up. See, this thing has been in storage for a while. It's kind of gross. It's not opened, right? Nope, it is open. Okay. I'm not using those. This kit comes with new hardware. That vintage plate. Looks great. It's perfect. You might as well look at the instructions, right? Gear plate. Gearbox plate. So 3 screws. Fully screw on. Yep. Well, let's see. That's the point. Here we go. Let's get these shafts in here. Excellent. Okay, so it shows we can drop the ball diff in, and then the counter gear. I guess this keeps everything in check here. It does. It keeps this gear in place while holding this down. So I can see why that could potentially be a problem. Maybe I can put some Loctite. I think I will put some Loctite because it's going into the aluminum now. Excellent. So now, let me get a little bit of grease on these gears. I do like my anti-wear grease. The Tamiya anti-wear grease is amazing. It's my favorite grease. Unless you touch it, then it's my least favorite. So what I'm going to do is just rotate it, let the grease get into the grooves. More than that. Oh, I can already start to feel it. Yeah, it feels so smooth. The good thing about the Tamiya anti-wear grease is you don't have to use a whole lot. I mean, just putting on a very tiny amount. As long as it coats most of the area that's making contact with the other gear, it spreads itself around very nicely. You can see it on there. Not sure if you guys can see it. It's a little shiny. Feels really good. Let's do a little bit more. The problem with the Tamiya grease is if you use too much, it actually will cause a little bit too much resistance. that's why people like to use them in their diffs. It feels really smooth. It feels really good. You guys hear that? Right. Me neither. Super quiet. Feels really good. Alright, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to put the Super Stock BZ in this gearbox. I just did this off camera. It's a little bit easier doing it without having to be on the shot here. Look how good that looks. Look at that. So I'm just going to put a little bit of anti-wear grease here and a tiny bit here. Okay, I think I'm going to stop for now. I'm not sure if I will make this a separate video or I will just continue another day, but I'm stopping for the day for now, and I will pick back up whenever I pick back up.